video walk around of what I did with my fuel sender replacement on the Lotus. You can see this is the old one that came out. That's a genuine video one. Haven't examined what went wrong with it, but I suspect something in the rheostat in there is broken. It does have the standard SAE 5-bolt pattern. That is a not a uniform pattern. It only fits in one way. Now there's the tank. You can see this the line that goes to the fuel pump, and that's the filler neck on the far side, and that's like a breather tube there, I believe, or overflow tube. Okay, inside, what did I do? I'm replacing the fuel filter at the time since it's all apart. The fuel pump is also going to get replaced with an SU original, taking out the old one that was an aftermarket. It was working, but I'm just taking it out. And then here's the new centroid dip type sender. So it uses some type of capacitance measurement in the tube between the inner pipe and the outer pipe, measuring the fuel, how high it is on the tube. And on top here we have a whole bunch of wires, as you can see. This is the power supply. I'm pulling that off of the fuel lock, which is that device. That is a switchable 12 volts. So I tapped into the wire where it's coming across from the harness way back there. It runs across and then down and then back to there, back to down there. But I just tapped into it, so I got a switchable 12 volts positive coming into the sender. That was new. That was not part of the original sender, so I had to add that in. I'll explain what this wire is in a second. And then this is the ground. So this ground is tapped into the original harness. That's those three wires there. So that black wire is the ground, and that black wire comes up here. The green with black wire there is the gauge. So that's the control for the gauge, and that comes up to where it says send right here. No big surprises there. I put ring connectors on all the wires. I just basically cut that harness off at the video sender and then attached ring connectors, and everything just got attached to that. Now, what do I have this relay hanging out here for? Okay, the alarm is a ground. It pulls to ground, and the original alarm for the video was not working in that sense. It's got that green with orange wire and then ground, and when they get connected, that sends a signal up to a module which turns on the low fuel light 15 seconds later if it continues to receive a shorted connected signal. So what I did was I took a relay and took the alarm and the positive that I have and connected it to the relay. So the yellow and white is on the control side of the relay, and then the two green wires, one comes up to the green with orange here and is just tied together, and then the other green wire comes up to ground. So when that relay gets pulled, it is essentially just connecting the black and green with orange wire, which then sends the low fuel alarm up to the dashboard, and 15 to 20 seconds later it responds and turns the light on. So that was a workaround that I had to do to get the alarm part to work, but it wasn't a big deal. It was just you know, throwing a relay in there, which is pretty simple stuff. And that's the rest of it. So now all I have to do is get some longer bolts, because the bolts that had the original sender on it are quite short. If my video stops lagging. So there's the bolt. As you can see, when you put said bolt into said sender, it doesn't even appear out the other side. So I need to get bolts that are about a 1/4 inch longer with the same thread, hopefully the same material. The sender did come with this new cork gasket, which I intend to use. If you're really questioning that SAE thing, you can see all the holes line up, but if I turn it to the next alignment section, the holes, now you got a blank one here that doesn't line up correctly. So they do have to be correctly oriented. Thankfully, when the sender goes in, that orientation is just like this, and it looks nice and clean. So it'll be sitting in the tank like that. The length I got was 10.5 inches. Seems to be a pretty good length. I get an empty reading. I don't know if I can get light into the tank. I was already getting low fuel light on the gauge before, so it is definitely low on fuel. I can't get my flashlight light to turn on, not sure why. Anyway, that's it. I just have to go get some longer screws, and also I'm going to replace the bolts that held the tank in there, because the nylock nuts were completely destroyed, and so I mean that's what the bolt looks like, that's what the nylock nut looks like, and those should always be replaced. So that's going to get a new bolt and nut. Those are going to get new longer bolts down there, and I'm going to get a new fuel filter and pop it all back together. Peace out.